This is no joke, the type of action camera I would pretty much dream about every single day back in 2022 and 23 when I was really big into action cameras. Kind of around right after the time I started the YouTube channel, and I think a camera like that would literally come out in the 2030s, but here we are. It's the big 26, and right here we have the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. This absolute B7 action camera runs 8K at 60 frames per second. It can also do 4K 240 and 1080 480, and in some settings I think it can do 1080p at 960. That's crazy. I'm currently recording with the Mission 1 Pro right now. It looks good or bad. I'll probably include this in the video just to see. I haven't really recorded much, and to begin with, I wasn't as impressed as I thought it would be. But I do know GoPros can change drastically in the different scenarios. If you're looking to buy this camera, or you're into outdoor things like this, or maybe you're doing research for high-tech things, if it's any of that, this video is probably for you. And if you enjoy this video, I'd recommend subscribing. Now, before I talk about all the crazy specs of this camera, I first need to let you know that most of this video isn't recorded on the GoPro Mission 1 Pro. Part of it is when I get a bunch of test footage and mess around with color grading. I'm gonna kind of do that for one of the first times. I've actually done it to some of my Luna Ultra footage. I just got it. Actually, I'm recording with the Luna Ultra right now. So far, it's actually really amazing. And yeah, I know my fit doesn't really match. Kind of looks like it's in multiple different seasons of the year. It's kind of a cloudy or rainy early summer day today. So obviously, as we know, the GoPro Mission 1 Pro can now do a crazy 8K 60 FPS, 4K 240. It doesn't do 5.3K like the Heroes, and 1080p 480. And also for 10 seconds at the slow motion mode, it can do 1080p at 960 FPS, which is actually really crazy. These are actually legit resolutions, they're not like fake. And now for most people, this is pretty obvious. You don't want the resolution to fool you. Now, however, if you were to put like, let's say 8K on a Hero camera that has like about half-inch sensor, I would say, I think that's about half-inch. That's not how you say it, but if you were to do that, it wouldn't look as good. So now a bigger sensor obviously gets better overall image quality. There's gonna be less grain, it's gonna be more sharp, probably better with color. And also it's a big factor in low light. And so when I'm in my forest, it'll be grainy with an older GoPro, even in the evening, even hours. It could be hours before sundown or just an hour, and the footage will look terrible. So I think it's really scenario based on how much image quality of how well it will look. Not just the amount of pixels. You'll notice how well it'll look, and it's very scenario based and where the sun is, and it's pretty complex with GoPros. They're just not really good with it. That's just how I feel, and that's kind of an experimental thought, so I can't say that with complete confidence that's how it is, but it's definitely a thing with GoPros. And now here's the spec list of the Mission 1 Pro, especially the things I'm mostly interested in, and I'll try and get everything. But this one, I could do HDR any setting. I just probably can't go down to 1080p and do HDR. But that's one of my favorite parts, is I could straight up do like just maxed out like HDR or 8K 60 FPS and HDR, because GoPro would have maxed it to maybe even 4K or just 8K 30, but I don't even know how they do it. It just takes more processing power. But that's one of my favorite things with the new GoPro. It also has a bigger body, and the Enduro 2 battery is what it naturally comes with. I think it does work with the normal Enduro that was with the 13, so only the 13, and they can kind of share batteries. Specifically for the Luna Ultra, the 1 Pro, specifically for the 1 Pro, it has, I don't know, some new battery chemistry where it's slightly larger. I think it's 2150 milliamp hours, so it's a little larger, like 200, maybe 300 milliamp hours larger. Somehow, like with all the other GoPros pretty much, it can do 33 feet of waterproof. This one can do 66 feet, so it literally doubled, and it's like the Mission 1 Pro, so I didn't expect that improved specs. But honestly, thinking about it, they didn't really improve much other than the larger camera, slightly different UI layout to make it look new, and honestly, all the resolutions, but doubled at frame rate, plus 8K 60. That's honestly what it feels like, and not really much different from the older GoPros. But the difference that I listed is massive still. And oh, of course, the 1-inch sensor has a 1-inch sensor now and has a GP3. It mentions maybe something about AI with the processor. A lot of, I think, companies use it as marketing, especially Insta360, I think. AI helps, I think I mentioned this earlier, but make files more efficient, more compressed. effectively. Not necessarily compressed, but it helps handle bigger files. And so not exactly, there's not ChatGPT in your camera necessarily, but that's kind of the gist of it. So actually a few months ago I was gifted, I believe it's called the Fluid AI Pro gimbal, or maybe just Fluid AI gimbal. I was surprised, and I never really did much research into it, but the GoPro gimbal, I was kind of busy then, but it dropped and I really didn't do much research at all. Actually, a few days ago, I booted up the gimbal finally, and I actually got to use it. And so I put the Mission 1 Pro on there, but it's definitely an interesting camera, and I was definitely very surprised. I thought it would work pretty well, but it worked a little bit better than I thought it would. And so far, it's pretty good. So yeah, now we're gonna jump into that part where I use that camera, I rig it up with the Mission 1 Pro, and I turn on log mode. So log essentially will make everything look washed out. It'll take away a lot of color, and so later in editing, this is what professionals do to make like really nice colored like content. And it's better than just tweaking the colors later in, like, let's say iOS's Photos app. It's better than that. It's more professional, and you'll preserve more quality, not resolution, but quality somehow, in the color quality and professionalism or whatever, be more preserved and it'll look better. I've done this with my Luna Ultra. I'm actually using the remote. This is the screen, took it off of it. This is what I'm holding. But I'm using the Luna Ultra right now. I got it just 5 days ago, probably. Just recently, I also color graded that footage, and then last night, I color graded the footage I took a few days ago on my Mission 1 Pro. And essentially, it shoots in GP log. That's their setting for that. And so, here, am I in frame? I can see myself from here. It connects via Bluetooth. This is a new camera, by the way, Luna Ultra. Very new for Insta360, but it's a new market they're tapping into. This is like a Pocket Pro camera. I didn't really do much time with color grading, and it was hard to find some actual good LUTs. A lot of the scenes, it actually varies more than I thought, but some scenes look very dark, and some scenes, overall they're pretty colorful. They're not super vibrant, but some scenes are a little overly vibrant. And so I need to get better with that, and I didn't have much time because I'm kind of trying to make this video in a pinch. Anyways, let's jump right in.